Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? It's your boy Kamo back with another reaction video for you. Today we got a little bit of a different one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. I believe this is by a show called The Newsroom, which aired on HBO, starring Jeff Daniels, and it was written by Aaron Sorkin, who, if you guys know movies, he wrote a lot of really great stuff. But the title is making me very anxious to watch this, so let's get this going.
Let's move on to the next question. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what... you know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
I mean, if you're from New York, I
No,
guess it's okay.
I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Ooh, that look he shot him. I'm sorry. Hashtag ugly pause. If you accidentally are watching something and you pause it and it catches someone making an ugly face, that's called hashtag ugly face. You can put it on Instagram. There's tons of people that do this shit. Anyway, what I was gonna say is that look he gave that guy when he said, "No, I'm not gonna. I want a real answer." Like, I felt like he was already pissed. Like, motherfucker, if I want to make a joke, I'll make a joke. Don't fucking tell me you don't accept my answer. Then skip me.
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity and opportunity and freedom and freedom.
It's not. I recognize that actress.
I'm not letting you go back
But
to the
it can be.
airport without answering the question.
That's not her.
Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing. You don't look satisfied.
I was gonna say, he's like, that's not what I want. I want a better answer. Sometimes, I mean, Aaron Sorkin, like I said, is a great writer, so I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a great scene. But like, just the subtleties of like, I'm not gonna say anything right now, but I'm gonna give you a look that lets you know, that's not what I want. You know what I want to hear. Like, give me a real answer, but all just in a look.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you.
There she is again.
What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
There you go.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's...
See what happens when you push somebody? Sometimes you push them too much, too hard, and then you're like. By the way, this happens with. I normally do comedy reactions. This happens with comedians all the time. You like heckle, even when you think you're not heckling, you heckle, and you're kind of teasing the comedian. And usually, most comedians give you a little bit of leeway, a little bit of warning, before they go off on your ass. But by the time they go off on your ass, it's too late now. There's nothing you can do. I feel like he's about to go off.
talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of her paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always? Hey, and with a straight face,
So
you're
goddamn
gonna
always.
tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom? Canada has freedom. Japan has
true.
freedom. The UK,
A lot of places have freedom other than the U.S.
France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium.
Has he named
have
all of them?
freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports.
I would actually be really curious because I know this show is not super recent. I know it's not super old either. I know I think I want to say, man, 2014. I don't know. I have actually no idea right now. But my point is like, I wonder where all these rankings were. I'm sure they were accurate back then. I wonder where they're at now. Because I feel like they're probably in a lot of those categories he was naming, whatever number we were, whatever number, I'm from the US, obviously, wherever we were ranked, I'm pretty sure those numbers probably in a lot of those categories went up even more, sadly.
We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending.
Dude, like, even if, well, I mean, I'm not that I would have just come up with those answers on my own, but if someone had told me, like, hey, of these list of things, all the things he went through, which 3 of these things do you think that we are number 1 in? I would have probably said incarcerated citizens, for sure. I don't know if I would have said believe in angels thing, maybe, but I would have thought that was worldwide, but maybe not. I mean, maybe that's just U.S. mostly. And then defense spending. Yeah, I'd probably out of the whole list of things he said, I probably would have probably given that one my vote too. So maybe I would have got 2 out of 3.
Where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
Fuck. Man, oh, that look she gave. Fuck, I'm gonna start crying, guys. Guys, I love to laugh, but I'm an easy laugher. I'm an easy crier. Fuck. I didn't know I was gonna cry. I feel so bad for her because, like, she didn't know that question, which she took as a simple question to feel good about America, she didn't know she was about to get her ass handed to her for it. You know? So, man, I feel bad for her. And she's just like, and the fact that last part that he literally attacked her, he wasn't attacking his panelists anymore. He was attacking her. So, well, her generation and her. So I was like, damn, like that look is, ugh.
Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people.
Yo, like, this is totally gonna make me cry. You guys can see from my background and everything. I mean, Superman is, he's my guy ever since I was a kid. And whenever people ask me, because people always ask me when they find out I'm a huge Superman fan, they always ask me, well, first they always ask me usually like, hey, who would win in a fight, Superman or blah, blah, which I'm always going to say Superman. But they'll ask me like, why is he your favorite? Because I think, being totally honest with you, I think people always expect me to say, because he can fly, or because he's got super strength, or because he's the strongest, or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, and that's why I'll tell you right now, because you'll get what I'm about to say, Captain America is probably my second favorite. But why is Superman my favorite? Because literally he believes in fighting for truth and justice in the American way. The American way, unfortunately, has been tainted from how he represented it back when he first came out in the comics and everything. And even, back when the movie came out. I'm talking about the original movie. But it was because he stood for, well, it was a combination of that, along with side that here's a person who has all this power and he uses it for good, and he actually tries to, it's the famous line given, I'm going to geek out real quick. It's a famous line given when he is in the Fortress of Solitude for the first time. This is 1979 Superman, the movie, where you're about to see him for the first time as Superman in the outfit. His dad's talking to him, And one of the last things his dad says to him is like, they're good people, Kal-El, if they wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way. For this reason, above all, their capacity for good, I'm sending them you, my only son. Which is very biblical in wording. Obviously, if you guys read the Bible, it's very biblical. But that connect as a kid, I'm a kid, and I'm seeing this and I'm hearing this, and I'm just like, so he's setting it, like I'm literally a kid, and I'm like, so he's setting an example of how we should treat each other and how we should try and help each other and how we should try and care for each other and blah 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 blah, and how we should not lie and how she would like blah blah blah, like all this stuff. As a kid, I'm like connecting with it, and just throughout my life, it's been obviously it's changed over the years. There's been some good iterations, there's been some bad iterations, but we won't talk about them. But what he stood for has never changed, even throughout the years. Like his costumes changed, the look of the movies have slightly changed, the dialogue has changed, all that kind of stuff. But what he stands for still has not changed and can't change, because that is the essence of who he is. You cannot take that away from him, or that's not him anymore. It's like, you take away Wolverine's claws and he ceases to be Wolverine to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? So that line really hit me with how we used to be. We used to stand for things like morals, and we did what was right, not because of, like all these things he just said in the last 20, 30 seconds. I was like, fuck, here we go. Like, probably bring on the tears pretty soon. Such a wussy.
We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy.
Dude, the we don't beat our chest, that gets me. Because if you've seen, I did a reaction video to, I forget what it was called, but it was a sports type of reaction video. And a lot of it was like people, karma. I think it had something to do with karma. And so in a lot of that video is fighters being cocky. And in the moment that they're being cocky, that's when they get knocked the fuck out. Some of them didn't work out that way. But my point is like, I cannot stand when people are cocky. Like, well, it's not cool either way, because there's sometimes I see people. I'm sure people like this. If you do, comment below. There are people that are cocky, but they shouldn't be cocky. Like, meaning what they think they're cocky about, whether it's their looks or their talent or whatever, their income, their whatever. But it's just their perception of it. Like, they're not really that good. They're really not that good looking, or they're really not that intelligent. They're really not that talented, whatever it is, but they think they are. I'm thinking about a lot of comedians right now who, after their set, they would go back, I crushed, I killed. And I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, I saw your set. You did okay. Like, but they're like, in their mindset, they're like, I killed, bro. That's cocky, but it's undeserving cockiness. That's usually more, to me, funny than upsetting. But the one that really does bother me a lot is when you're cocky, but people will say you've earned the right to be cocky. I don't believe in that. Like, just because you're the best, either whether it's currently at this moment in time, or you're the best that has ever been and ever will be, either way, when you're the best at something, I still feel like, and again, I know there's people going to disagree with me that say you've earned the right to be cocky because you're the best, so that you have that right now. I still don't feel that way. Again, that's the Superman fan in me who's like, even though I'm the strongest and the fastest and the whatever, I'm never going to beat my chest and be like, worship me. I mean, I know there's versions of Superman where he does, but I don't watch those or listen to those. I don't agree with those. He's not my Superman. But Superman, in his true nature, he's not like that. He's like, I'm gonna just help you. I'm the best, but he's never saying I'm the best. He's like just saying, look, I'm gonna help you. I'm in a position where I can help you. Let me help you. I'm in a position where I can do good. Let me do good. And so the not beating your chest thing really hits home with me, man, because I really, really hate cocky people. The ones that aren't, like I said, are undeserving, it's kind of more funny than I hate. But the people that earn the right to be cocky, I'd rather you just not be cocky and people say, wow, that's so cool that he's not cocky, even though he totally earned the right to be cocky. I feel like that's so much better to be humble like that. Like when people say, like, you know, oh, he could get away with that, but the fact that he doesn't get away with that because he doesn't do it is even better.
We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. Enough?
There you go, guys. I told you guys I'm an easy crier. That got to me so much that, yeah, that was very, very well written. Aaron Sorkin's a great writer. But that just hit home for me in so many ways because, you know, as a kid, I believed we were the greatest country. And then, and in some ways, we totally still are one of the greatest countries. I will never, again, I'm not cocky. I would never say we're the greatest. We're one of the greatest. I feel. But again, limited experience too. I haven't really been anywhere in the world. So who the fuck knows? I'm sure a lot of you people watching this will act like they know everything and they'll be like, I know. But I felt that way as a kid, and then somewhere over time I lost it. Not that, oh, we're the worst, but just that they would, oh, now we're just not the number one. We're just one of the ones. Like maybe we're on the podium, but we might not have the gold, you know? Even though we did just win the Olympics and we got the most gold medals. Yay. That's my American pride. But yeah, just all the things he was saying, man, I totally felt it. Like we could be one of the greatest countries. We could be the greatest country. Because I feel like at one point we were, like what he was talking about, like at one point we were. And then it was almost like we got cocky and now we lost it. You know, we weren't first and then we got cocky and then we went back a few or a couple. And I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but that pride, beating your chest, like looking up to intelligence, not belittling it. I feel like that's turning around. I don't know how old this show was, but I feel like that's turning around. I feel like for the majority of people, we are starting to kind of turn towards intelligence again, like start to listen to the smart people and hear what they have to say. Obviously, there's still people that don't, but I feel like we're starting to turn back in that direction. I think we're steering back in the right, or we're trying to, in some ways, trying to steer back in the right direction. So my hope for this country, I mean, it will never die until I do. But that was great. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry if I got emotional. I appreciate you guys. Until next time.